What's up? It's your boy, Let 'em know Zoe, back with another video. Guys, today is a very different time than it used to be. What I mean by that is times are changing very rapidly. And what leads me to make that assumption is the fact that I live in the United States, and one of the greatest themes, one of the most prominent themes of this country is freedom. But as of late, there have been a lot of things going on that kind of seem to be going against that sort of, that very freedom that this nation was supposedly founded on. There is a YouTuber, or should I say, former YouTuber at this point, by the name of Sneako. He is the person in the thumbnail. And he was recently deplatformed on YouTube for, in my opinion, just speaking his thoughts on various things. He had very interesting videos, very well done. I was a fan of him myself, among many others. I believe around the time he was deplatformed on YouTube, he had, I think, something like 1.2 million subscribers, 1.2 million subscribers. And yeah, he was doing it for a very long time. If I remember correctly, he was on YouTube for about 9 years. He had been doing it for a very long time. But his messages in his videos and different things like that seem to have gotten the people who control YouTube upset, and they decided to just wipe his channel. Now, the only way you can find his content is by maybe perhaps searching the title of one of his older videos, and maybe another account of a different person may have re-uploaded it. But unfortunately, his official channel is no longer there, and that really struck a chord with me because I was a fan of him. But yeah, one reason specifically why I think he was deplatformed is because he spoke out against the agenda that a lot of people are pushing. I think it's especially prominent in this country, but I'm sure it doesn't stop at our borders. Now, when I say the agenda, what I mean is basically LGBTQ. I'll start there. Basically, just alternative lifestyles, how you're supposedly not supposed to speak out against people doing what they want to do, even if that means that it's at the detriment of somebody else. So one thing I'm gonna say that hopefully does not also get me deplatformed is kind of forcing the LGBTQIA plus agenda onto children before they're even really aware of anything in the world. Just the idea of children being born a certain gender, but then being convinced that somehow that's wrong and that they need to change their gender, whether it be through pronouns or whether it be through hormone shots, and to change the way that they were naturally born into something different than the way that they were originally conceived and born into this world. That doesn't really sit right with me. It kind of gives me a really eerie feeling for the future of the United States. It's just a lot of things are going on these days, and they just don't really seem to be on the right side of morality, if you ask me. Um, Another reason why I believe that Sneako was deplatformed is because he spoke freely. He didn't mince his words. He didn't make sure that he didn't say certain things just to not offend anybody. No, he was straightforward. He was real. He was raw. He was non-PC. He was unapologetic, and those are a few things that I really actually admire about Sneako. One of the aspects about him that made me a fan of him in the first place. So yeah, he was just really straightforward about a lot of things that he said. Um, he was basically just not really the type of person who would really make sure that they don't offend anybody. No, he would just say what he had to say, and if you didn't like it, too bad. And I'm pretty sure that he had plenty of haters too. A lot of people who weren't particularly fans of his messages or his videos or just anything in general that he may have said. Um, he had a lot of clips of the 1 minute podcast in his videos. This is another thing that I really enjoyed, found them very entertaining, where he would ask people various questions about just different things going on today, different topics, mindsets and lifestyles, things like that. And it was very interesting to see the different perspectives of all the different people that he would be interviewing and talking to, and just kind of picking their brains about what they think about the world we live in today. Uh, yeah, so he was just very outspoken and unapologetic, and those are two things that I'm pretty sure that the powers that be were not very fond of. Another thing that I think Sneako was canceled for was because he refused to water down anything that he said to make people comfortable. He was very kind of like I just said, very straightforward, very raw, very unapologetic. He didn't care if anybody didn't like what he was saying. The bottom line is, it's YouTube. It's a public platform. If you don't like what I'm saying, just click off the video or watch something else. That's all it really is. So it's like, why should I change my message? Why should I conform to what you want to hear just because you don't agree with me? Like, if you don't like what I'm saying, you have the free will to not watch my videos. But like, yet here you are still watching my videos. That sort of thing. And it's actually kind of funny. The people who seem to be the most against you in many situations seems to be the same people who can't seem to leave you alone. I just find that kind of funny. Yeah. I think that Sneako was somebody who was really influential, in my opinion. I know that like not the whole world knows him, but he definitely did have quite a large following. And I know it's probably strange that I seem to be talking about him in the past tense as if he's like no longer with us, but he's like still out here doing his thing, just not on his own YouTube channel anymore, which I think is sad. But there are still many people, many prominent YouTubers who are collaborating with him, so he's not like completely like fallen off the face of the earth, which is a good thing. I think we need people who are not so willing to conform and just do what they're told. Um, Another reason I believe Sneako was deplatformed on YouTube was because he was somebody who was willing to speak his mind regardless of the consequences. He was a free thinker, and whatever he was thinking, he let it be known. He didn't feel the need to kind of hold his tongue on different topics. On anything he wants to say, he said it. Some people may consider that troublesome and problematic, But if you ask me, it can. I guess there are times where maybe there are some things that are better left unsaid. But by that same token, there are definitely times where somebody needs to say what needs to be said. Like somebody needs to be the one to not be scared and stand up and open their mouth and speak for what is right. So we can't have everybody just being a passive sheep, just doing what they're told, just keeping their head down and not disturbing the balance or rocking the boat or messing with the order of things. Sometimes we need somebody to make things a little hectic because, sometimes drama is the only way that'll make somebody actually snap out of their trance and just check out what's going on outside of them. So one last reason that I think Sneako was deplatformed, unfortunately, is that he was one to go against the grain. He wasn't somebody who was just gonna sit down and do what he was told. And that seems to be something that he said very often in his videos. If memory serves me correctly, I believe he said he was diagnosed with ADHD from a young age, and he was prescribed all these medications to sort of make him settle down a little bit, I guess. But he was saying all this around the time that he was. I think he said he was around like a preteen, like 12, 13, 14, around there when he was supposedly when he was I'm sorry guys, when he was supposedly having this disorder. But it's like at that age, like 11, 12, 13, 14, what boy is not rambunctious? What boy is not like kind of grasping at anything he can get to sort of learn something about him, about the world around him? Like everybody is, well, I guess not everybody, but a lot of young boys are like that. Like they just they're full of energy, they're full of curiosity. They're gonna be like wondering what's that, what's this, what's that. Like naturally, you're gonna wanna learn about what's going on in this world. You're not just gonna sit still and be like, oh, I'm scared to like explore. Like it doesn't make sense. I'm sure there are some people who need a little extra push, but I think for the most part, boys will be boys. So, I mean, honestly, I kind of miss his channel. His videos are very interesting, very entertaining, and at that, and also they were pretty they would like they're pretty informational, pretty educational. They teach you some things. And I'm like I said, I'm kind of sad that the channel is done, but he's still out there doing his thing, and I respect him for it. So Sneako, if you see this, just know that let him know Zoe is a fan, and if you wanna collaborate, hit me up. Well, it's your boy. Let him know Zoe. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'm out.